Good evening, I'm Eileen Buckley. Thanks for joining us for tonight's Buffalo Strong discussion. Tonight's focus is on back-to-school anxiety. We realize as parents you may have many questions about the return to school, and we hope tonight will help deliver some answers that will pave the way for a successful school year for everyone. After more than a year at home during the pandemic, many kids who are making their way back into the classroom are carrying more than just a backpack full of supplies. They are excited and anxious. Even before the pandemic, as many as 1 in 6 young children grappled with some kind of diagnosed mental, behavioral, or developmental issue. And new findings suggest children working through anxiety and depression have doubled during the pandemic. Well, joining me tonight to help provide you with answers and resources is Dr. Rachel KAUFMAN. Dr. KAUFMAN is a pediatrician with Buffalo Pediatrics. We also have Lynn Shine, a certified rehabilitation counselor. Lynn is founder of Audubon Counseling. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us and being here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Well, let's jump right in. It is a new school year, new rules. Parents are on edge, kids are excited. Anxious versus anxiety, what's the difference? And if children are feeling overwhelmed and don't want to come back to school, what is your suggestion? We spoke with some, sorry, go ahead please, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. In terms of kids being anxious, I always talk about that anxiety and control go on a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you can give the kids some control by, number one, listening to them, that's really important. Listen to their feelings. Don't try to jump in right away and fix it. Just say, listen to what they're saying and give them some empathy without some sympathy. So you don't need to try to fix it for them, but listen and reassure them that you have a lot of faith that they can handle it.
Dr. Rachel?
I agree with that. I think one of our biggest failings as parents is when we hear that our kid is struggling, we have this impulse that we either want to tell them they don't need to feel that way or we want to fix it for them. And neither is really the most productive initial response. The most productive initial response is to give them some space, to share with you what they're going through. But then when you respond, to emphasize that though those feelings are real and that it's okay to feel that way, but also at the same time, they can figure out coping and they can adapt, and we believe in them that they can be resilient.
Well, we spoke with several parents who have questions for you, and here is Eve from Buffalo. Eve is the mother of a high school teenager.
How would they propose to protect the children from this Delta variant when we're all under the assumption that the vaccine is going to help us somehow? And even the teachers may be lax in their practices for safety, wearing a mask or hand sanitizing. What would they recommend as a regular practice to put in place in the schools so that we don't have to say, I'm over it?
Yeah, very important. Dr. Rachel, what's your advice?
Yeah, so, teaching your child proper masking technique and making sure that they have masks that are comfortable and well-fitting are the key to making mask strategies the most effective that they can be. Masking is going to be an important tool to make sure that Delta variant doesn't run rampant. And then also being familiar with the school's rules and requests and requirements so that you can prepare your child and they're educated about that even before they walk into the building.
And the other thing is, I think that we're giving in a little too quickly to the fact that our kids are saying that they're uncomfortable with the masks and washing the hands, and they're over it, as you said. And the truth is that I was at the age that I didn't like to wear a seatbelt. I was able to be in a car without a seatbelt, but we had to wear a seatbelt and we got used to it. Or kids didn't want to wear a helmet, but we told them they had to wear a helmet. And because that is the proper precautions, and we're working hard to keep them safe. And so if we keep showing them that that's what we're doing step by step, our children, if we model that, then they will get used to that.
That's great advice. Thank you.
I agree.
Sue from Tonawanda would like to talk about separation anxiety. As a parent, she asks, how can I relieve my own anxiety as well as my children's?
Yeah, anxiety is sort of like being on the airplane, right? You have to secure your own mask before putting on the masks of others. We're not going to be able to completely dispel all of our own anxious feelings, but it is important maybe to take a moment to check in with them, and think about how we're going to cope with them before we try to tell our kids about their anxiety, because the more that we have a grip on our own coping strategies, the better headspace we're going to be in as we try to reach out to our kids and help them find ways to cope.
Exactly. And I agree with that completely, is that if we can practice being apart and we say, it's okay to say, I'm going to miss you too. I've loved being home with you, but I'm proud of you for going to school, and keep it positive. Keep the return time coming home at the time that you said that you were going to come home, so that they can count on you, being calm and consistent. There's a lovely book that's called The Kissing Hand, and for really young kids, but the point is all the way through that these little raccoons are taking their young raccoon to school, and the young raccoon is so sad about being dropped off, and the mother kisses the hand and said, look, you have my kiss the whole day, and whenever you miss me, you can put it up to your heart and you'll remember that I'm with you all day. So even sending a transition object, or just saying, listen, I'm with you, but I'll miss you, but I'm proud of you because you're going, keeps it positive but acknowledges their feeling.
Yeah, that kind of strategy can even help slightly older kids. I've had kids who wear a special locket that has emotional significance for them. Perhaps a little bit more for girls than boys, but people wear jewelry that makes them feel connected to their loved ones, reminds them that they're cared for. And sometimes, touching or reminding themselves that they have these items with them can help them face adversity.
Yeah, it gives that little extra security, right? Our next question comes from Lisa, a mother of two. Let's hear what she has to say.
What are the schools going to do for all these kids who've come in and had wildly different experiences, and who have learned or not learned, or had to go to work, or, they've all had all these different things. Some of them have, learned how to bake bread. That's not going to get you a good score on the SATs, but it's an awesome thing, but everybody's going to come in with a different experience from this year and a half. And what are the schools going to do to meet that? What are the schools going to do for all these kids?
Well, ladies, some insight here. Lynn, perhaps you can start us off.
Yeah, I understand that there's going to be some learning loss, perhaps, but the social and emotional losses or fears or worries are going to be something that, at least I'm a little biased, I think that that's most important right now, that we help them feel safe. Because to be honest, if you're worried, or if your child's worried, or any of us are worried or concerned or anxious, the amygdala part of your brain will make you shut down the thinking part of your brain. Then you won't be able to think or concentrate or be able to study at all. So we need to be able to help them feel calm, because if they are so anxious, they may end up being angry or agitated when they're younger, or they may end up or helping them do little grounding exercises where they, take deep breaths, or be able to, even rubbing their fingers together, or having a worry stone or something like that, helps them ease their anxiety. And once they ease their anxiety, then they're able to concentrate again. So I think that once, people catch up. So I'd rather us focus on that first, so that we're able to have the right climate to be able to catch up again.
And a diversity of experience, as that mother elegantly pointed out, it doesn't have to be a negative thing. There might be enriching components of kids coming back together who have all experienced different things. That might actually provide an opportunity to broaden your possibilities and thoughts about how things could be, and interact with kids who have learned things they might not have otherwise learned.
Mm-hmm.
So let's hear what a couple of kids would do for anxiety.
I would either just close my eyes, take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out, and then continue what I would do, or I would just ask a friend for help to do anything, for mostly advice.
I kind of just like try and focus on something instead of doing like focus on something else. So
I would either just close my eyes, take a deep.
That's just so great to hear from them and have their own ways of doing this. Lynn, what do you think? Those are some best advice for children as they mull over those ideas.
First of all, they were fantastic. So I really loved the breathing. They nailed it. The breathing. I like teaching children how to meditate. They're never too young to learn how to meditate, 2-minute meditations. And there's lots of apps that you can download to teach children how to meditate. Getting proper sleep the night before is really very important, and getting back to proper routines are really important. Listing their worries, having a worry list, and being able to discuss that with the kids are important, because if they list their worries, you can teach them that they're worse than what they turn out to be. So they list their worries and then they say, what's the actual reality of what that turns out to be? And they realize, I was worrying a little too much. And that's something that can be really helpful for them as well. So the calming, the breathing, and doing some of that worry list can be helpful too.
Yeah, and I think when a lot of people hear meditation, they sometimes feel like that's not something they could do, that's above and beyond what they can cope with. But it can really be as simple as slowly breathing in and out to the count of 3. And there's nobody out there who can't slowly breathe in and out to the count of 3. And we talked earlier about parents managing their own anxieties. Practicing these things with your children is a way for you to demonstrate and model that you can cope with anxious feelings and that this is something you both can do.
Can I add? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
I'd love to add to that, because the doctor had discussed about the flight attendant, but I also about putting on your mask. She gave a plane analogy before, but I also want to add, I've said this before about a flight attendant. Parents, it's really important to understand that we're trying to do the very best. We have the best of intentions for our kids, but we are their flight attendant. If you think about turbulence on a plane, we look to the flight attendant and we say, are we okay? And if the flight attendant is calm, we're calm. If the flight attendant is running up and down the aisles and screaming, turbulence, turbulence, we're going to be pretty upset about it. So we need to really model for them that things are going to be okay. That sure, it's a little stressful, but we're going to be okay. And think of yourself as their flight attendant.
Great advice. Doctor, I know that there's a number that children can call when they're feeling this anxiety and this anxiousness. Can you give us that number?
Not off the top of my head, no.
I think we have it up on the screen for you. So it's 716-834-1144, or there's a second number, 877-543-7400. In just about 2 minutes, we're about talking about the different types of grief that children find themselves working through this year.
What it means to be an educator in 2021 is to pay attention to the social, emotional learning of every child.
But first, superintendents share with us some of their plans for tackling issues related to mental health within the walls of their schools. But first, some key ways you can help support your child and work through some anxiety. You're watching 7 Eyewitness News Buffalo Strong Conversation. Welcome back to our Buffalo Strong Conversation discussion on back to school anxiety. Well, many of you have reached out to us asking what schools are doing to help their children once they are indoors. Just recently, I had an opportunity to sit down with several school superintendents who shared their action plans. District leaders say it's important for educators to realize that for some students, there was trauma in their lives, and schools must be a welcoming, safe, and healthy place for them to return. In the Hamburg Central School District, all the adults have been trained in mental health first aid. But Superintendent Michael Cornell tells me new for this year is something called Theory of Action. He says all his principals have a theory of action around mental and emotional wellness to help target a child's needs.
What it means to be an educator in 2021 is to pay attention to the social emotional learning of every child. And if we do that, they'll be engaged, challenged, happy, feel like they belong, and have better learning outcomes as a result.
And in the Springville School District, Superintendent Kimberly Moritz tells me they are also making sure students who have anxiety about peer pressure when they return to school know that they have added support to help them.
And I think about how do we strengthen them? How do we help them see you can face those challenges again? And we're going to be here to help you do that. So we are looking at concepts like compassion fatigue, which we've been hearing about more, and how do we bring in professional development for everyone who touches students who might notice problems that they can help with.
Well, Springville has also added additional psychologists to its staff. Grief and anxiety, two powerful emotions. And when we talk about grief, for children, it's the loss of social interaction and the loss of pivotal moments in one's life. It is the loss of a loved one. Think about this, more than 1 out of every 1,000 children in the U.S. lost a primary caregiver due to COVID-19.
So this past year, my girls experienced a very close loss. They lost their father, and they've spoken to other children who have lost a grandparent, a parent, and they're getting ready to come back to school. So my question is, how do you prepare your child to return to the first day of school with having experienced a loss and being away from the rest of their friends for some time? So this past
Well, it's very sad. And when we talk about grief, it's not just about losing a family member. Joining us again is pediatrician Dr. Rachel KAUFMAN and counselor Lynn Shine. Grief for our children is also about losing time, friendships, and missing out on those pivotal moments. Would you agree with that, ladies? I think that that's really some of where it comes from for these children.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, you know, So we've all lost opportunities and moments in the past year, but I think it is important to talk about the death of loved ones in a somewhat separate category, because obviously that's a much more long-lasting problem for the family, much more complex grieving process for the family to go through. I think that for some kids, sometimes it's just preparing them for conversations with their friends, because their friends haven't had a chance to talk to them about their loss or their loved one. You know, you might ask them ahead of time, you know, or how are you going to feel if somebody comes up to you and says that they feel sorry or they're sad that they heard that your parent passed away. And if your child tells you that they don't want to deal with that conversation, you might actually be able to help them reach out to their friends ahead of time and give their friends some tips on how to help them feel welcome in school. I think also at the same time, you can help prepare kids who've been fortunate and haven't had losses on good ways to make sure that they don't just avoid people who they know have. I think sometimes kids avoid, and all of us avoid, those who've suffered terrible losses because we don't know what to say, and give them some coaching to make sure that they can make their friends feel welcome and included.
Lynn, can you also weigh in on that?
Well, I loved that. I thought that was fantastic, and helping the teachers as well prepare a class, because I've experienced that with different teachers. Some teachers handle that so beautifully, and I think that was great. As well as, you know, there's such losses in terms of many people getting fearful, and it goes back to the separation anxiety, as well as being able to not feel that they're, again, pitied, but being able to and understand that we can't empathize. Some of these people can't empathize, but you certainly can sympathize and be able to hear them and ask where they are that day, and be able to check in with them and what are you feeling today. And with kids, it's really helpful to give a scale. Where are you on a scale? We do that with medical. How are you feeling? And you can do that with mental health too. How are you feeling today on a scale of 1 to 10? Sometimes some teachers do really neat things that they're sending home, different things that parents can send back with little notebooks or even pieces of paper that say, we've had a rough night, so that teacher can understand that if a child is checked out or having a tough time, that they will understand where a child is that day. The other thing is when people experience losses, sometimes it's helpful to make shifts, because when we're depressed and when we're anxious, it's very self-focused. That's what depression and anxiety often is, because we're fighting so hard to just keep it together. And so sometimes being able to coach our children to go other focus, to look at someone else in the room that's perhaps sitting by themselves, that can be a plan to go and help somebody else come and sit with them, or
Lynn,
look for
thank you so much.
something else.
Unfortunately, we're running out of time.
Oh, that's okay. No problem.
Lynn Shine and Dr. Rachel KAUFMAN, thank you so much for offering your advice and being here with us tonight. It's so important. Thank you both. Well, in just a few minutes, we'll be back. Please stay with us.
Yeah.
Well, we'd like to thank all of our guests, parents and kids, for being part of tonight's Buffalo Strong discussion. You can find all the information and resources that we share tonight at wkbw.com/Buffalo Strong, and we'll be in the back to school section as well on our website. Thanks for joining us. 7 Eyewitness News at 6 is up next.